I'm wondering if there was a musical experience that launched you into your career that you can look back on and say, yeah, there was this that happened to me when I was much younger.
Yeah. I was really lucky to have a friendship that was really important to me. I grew up in a town of 850 people in a little town in South Dakota. And the school had a very minimal music program at best. But I had a really good friend who was a phenomenal organist. And we just kind of bonded together because we had an interest in music. And through that, I was introduced to a lot of things, and especially contemporary music. Dennis was a couple of years older than I, and studied over at Augustana College in Sioux Falls. And so he had access to a lot of other sort of musical outlets than I did. But I remember going to a concert with him. It was the Roger Wagner Chorale was touring, and they did Britten's Five Flower Songs, and it was like, wow. And this was in the middle of the 60s, in the middle of the Vietnam War, and all of the protests and things that were going on. And I remember going back home the next day and looking through the Schwann catalog of this Benjamin Britten, who is this guy, and seeing the War Requiem. And thinking, wow, this has got to be something that I want to know about. And so we ordered it, and that was my introduction, other than, the Flower Songs were the first, but my real introduction to Britten's music was the War Requiem, and that was mind-boggling, and I think life-changing on so many levels. And it's still a score I go back to, but that was a watershed moment, and that I look back on.
I can't help but think that listening to the War Requiem, you came to an understanding of what music can do. Mm-hmm. Could you talk about that?
Sure. The scope of the piece, the scale of the piece, the construct of the piece, combining secular and sacred, these moments that are as epic as the Dies Irae, and then a few minutes later, move him into the sun, the intimate, quiet, moments, and how deftly Britten handles both. And again, how beautifully he sets the text, how clearly it comes through and how it serves his music. Just all of those kinds of moments and how you can go from here to here, and in just the blink of an eye and so effectively.